After spending months with Karawa Sojo and its respective video, I've decided that maybe it's time to clear some games that I've got around my library before going ahead and buying some more. Especially now that I've got more time than I used to. In going through some of these, I can already sense a few of them as being worthy of being a Roth video. Well, worthy or unfortunate depending on how you view this channel. But for now, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves and focus on today's game. High Entropy Challenges. Well, I said game, but it's not exactly a game. This is more of a tech demo game, like Valve used to do back when they actually made games. The dev themselves state in the store page that this is a proof of concept to see if people would be interested in them developing the full-blown high entropy game, and also to test out different ideas they might have. And after dumping hours, more hours than any sane person would on a demo, I have to say it's good. There is a clear gameplay loop which is not only apparent but also really enticing to play, and the world design leaves you wanting to find every nook and cranny in the level. It's as brief or as extensive as you want it to be, actually. The game itself is a series of chess chambers, where you've got just one objective: reach the elevator at the end of the room. Now, the obstacles between you and the elevator is where the real meat of the game is. You'll have to sneak, hack, lockpick, and if it's really necessary, attack your way to that elevator, whether you want to or not. Sure, the first few chambers are dead easy, but please don't be fooled by them. The difficulty curve quickly became a difficulty cliffside, and I was basically thrown to the wolves as soon as those elevator doors opened in later levels. There's 15 chambers in total. And to kind of give you a vague idea of the kind of ridiculous stuff the game throws at you, each of the chambers come with a few additional objectives, which are optional, but they obviously contribute to each of the chambers' completion percentage. If you just cruise through the chambers with just the elevator in mind, you'll get a normal ending in the end. But if you take your time and find a way to complete each of those objectives, you'll find a special cutscene at the end. I was determined to get this special ending first, way I'd have no issue going through the entire game a second time already, right? Well, yeah, but I'd be going through the chambers a changed man. You see, chambers 1 through 4 were a complete breeze. The combined time of all 4 of them was 20 minutes in total, which included a few minutes of sweeping through a few rooms for the collectible paper cranes. And you know what also took 20 minutes, if not a bit more? Chamber 5, by itself. And how much did Chamber 7 take, for example? Like a good 40 minutes, if my footage is to be believed. I didn't even count how many resets this playthrough took me. Just how long the winning attempt took. And there have been many instances where I was right there, right at the end, and I somehow screwed it up and lost like 10 minutes of my life. I think Chamber 11 would take the cake for the most resets in a level, alone. Because as soon as those doors open, you're in for it. There's an enemy right in front of you that'll detect you within a few seconds, and a shotgun in a weapons cache. But as soon as you go to open the cache and retrieve the gun, more enemies behind you further into the level will detect you, and it gets hectic real fucking fast. Sometimes the gun wouldn't want to ready up and shoot, even if I was furiously left-clicking at enemies who were actively eyeballing me with evil intentions. One of the objectives in this level was to finish the level with 95 health or more, which is kind of difficult when they're throwing you in a Doom level as soon as you start. And even more when the combat is scuffed and non-responsive. After a good few attempts, I did it. And had to reset anyway because I accidentally got caught by a camera later in the level, which deployed a turret and completely obliterated that run and the rest of the patience I had that week. As you're probably able to tell by now, this game's tune isn't being slick and breezing past enemies like it's second nature. It's research and development. Slow burn. The chambers are in levels like in any other game where you go from point A to point B and that's it. They're puzzles. Their own contained puzzles with sub-puzzles in the form of the side objectives, which you've got to figure out if you even want to be able to get to the next chamber. There's this one example of my Chamber 5 footage where I straight up learned all of the basic computer commands the game had peppered in a few documents in surrounding rooms, and through sheer determination plus trial and error, I managed to get the door open from that computer. And let me tell you, when I got to the elevator, that made me feel like a very smart monkey. Instead of just running through a few rooms fetching a key that I got off some guy I shot to advance, they take the time to give each room a bit more meaning. It feels like you're actually doing something instead of just dashing off and going through the motions. They construct something that makes you feel a bit less stupid by the time you're done with the conundrum and passing by the next doorframe. Like, you're actually worthy of passing from this to that. I don't know, for me it just feels like there's an actual palpable progression beyond, hey, we need tougher enemies to show you you're strong now. So yeah, this game is just like Portal. But why am I glazing over this game so much? Well, first of all, it's doing something really interesting, creating more with less. The levels in this game usually have something between 8 and 12 rooms each. There's always a certain way to sneak around the level if you want to do things right and stick by all the objectives you've been given. And it's going to take a lot more to go through 12 rooms than it probably take in any other game. And it's going to, by proxy, lead to a game that's a slower burn, but that's not a bad thing, not at all. If anything, it really benefits the game. In a game like BioShock, it really pays off to spend more time in the levels and explore every nook and cranny. You'll find more resources, which will help out in any future encounters and just in general. There are resources in the game. And yet again, it helps the game build. Drudging through and going all slow and methodical isn't everyone's piece of cake. Trust me, I'm the first person to be like that. Sometimes the attention span just isn't there to sneak around and collect things for half an hour. But I found that, at least for me, when I do have the attention span, of course, it helps more with getting immersed since I'm spending more time around the same environments and getting familiar with everything. So, what did high entropy challenges do for me? Apart from wrecking my sanity and making my head hurt for a while. Well, it helped me give a certain genre of games another try. It's not exactly my biggest forte at all, but it has helped to get in the right mindset to tackle these. The slow burn, the need to study the environment and plan ahead as if you're Batman. It has been becoming really appealing to me lately, and it's a fun niche, honestly. I'm surprised. And for the longest time, it appeared that this project was abandoned. But very recently, like editing this video kind of recently, the developer re-emerged and made a new devlog where they explain how, yeah, they had been gone from this project for a while, but now they're going to be doing a complete overhaul of it, which, among other things, like, actually adding levels, includes remaking Chambers 1 to 15 from scratch. And the plans for the bigger, more commercial high entropy are there. They just want to work on this first and have it actually represent what they intend for the bigger game, like a good pitch. And the screenshots provided look way more promising than this current build entails, but even then, this is solid. It's a release that's complete enough to keep me engaged for more than a few minutes. And if you're bored, give this a try, because it's a lot of fun. And it's actually pretty smart designed. I've been Roth, and I'll see you in the next one.